December 20th, 1943. German airspace, 20,000 feet altitude. German pilot Franz Stigler took off in his Messerschmitt Bf-109 fighter. Radio: American bomber, damaged, flying slow, shoot it down. Franz accelerated, found the target, B-17 Flying Fortress, torn apart. Easy target. His finger moved to the trigger. But as he got closer, he looked inside. Wounded American boys. Blood. Desperation. His finger pulled away from the trigger. Today, I will not shoot a man in a parachute. That decision changed his life. And 40 years later, he would find the pilot in that plane. This is the story of two enemy pilots who became brothers. But what Franz saw through that shattered cockpit window will change everything you think about war. December 20th, 1943, 06 a.m., England, Kimbolton Air Base. Second Lieutenant Charlie Brown, 21 years old, B-17F pilot. Today was his first combat mission, bomb Bremen, Germany. His crew, 10 men, young, most 18 to 22 years old. Tail gunner Hugh Eckie Eckenrode, his best friend. "Charlie, today's going to be easy, right?" Eckie asked. Charlie smiled. "Easy, we go and come back." But none of them knew. Today, most would die. Aircraft name, Ye Old Pub, B-17F Flying Fortress, 4-engine bomber. 0800 a.m., takeoff. 334 B-17 bombers, including the 379th Bomb Group, took off. Target: German submarine factory in Bremen. Charlie at the controls. Co-pilot Spencer Pinky Luke on his right. "Form up," came the order. Hundreds of B-17s, tight formation, to protect each other. But Charlie's plane would break from formation that day. 11:30 a.m. over Bremen. German air defense began. Flak, anti-aircraft guns. The sky filled with black smoke, explosion sounds, planes shook. "Charlie, hold formation, entering bomb zone." The B-17s dropped their bombs, hit the factories. Ye Old Pub dropped its bombs too. "Bombs away, turning around," Charlie said. But then flak hit. Boom. Flak shell hit left engine number 2. Engine caught fire, smoke. "Charlie, engine 2 is burning, put it out." Engineer Andy activated fire suppression, but it didn't work. "Can't extinguish it, engine's dead." "Charlie, cut the engine, continue on 3. But this was just the beginning. Second flak hit engine number 4, right engine damaged too. Now only 2 engines running, 2 out of 4 dead. The plane slowed, speed dropped. The formation left Ye Old Pub behind, too slow to keep up. Charlie called on radio, "Wait for us!" But no one waited. The formation flew away. Ye Old Pub was alone. Lone aircraft, easy target, and German fighters were coming. But what happened next turned this from a routine mission into a nightmare. Messerschmitt Bf-109 and Focke-Wulf FW-190 fighters, 15 of them. They swarmed Ye Old Pub. Cannon fire, machine guns, attacks from all directions. "Charlie, all guns, fire!" Tail gunner Eckie fired from the gun turrets. Waist gunners fired, but the German fighters were too fast. First hit. German round struck the tail section. Tail gunner Eckie was hit, killed. Charlie on radio, "Eckie, respond!" Silence. Charlie's best friend was dead. Second hit. Oxygen system damaged. At 20,000 feet, without oxygen, crew passes out. Pinky, "Charlie, can't breathe." Charlie, "Descent, down to 10,000. Altitude where oxygen unnecessary. He dropped the plane, but now an easier target. Third, fourth, fifth hits. Nose section damaged. Bombardier wounded. Wings riddled, hundreds of bullet holes. Radio system damaged, no communication. Hydraulic system damaged, controls harder. Charlie struggled to control the aircraft. How much more can this plane take? But the worst hit was coming. A German pilot attacked straight at the B-17's nose. 20mm cannon shell entered through the cockpit window. Glass shattered. Minus 25-degree cold air rushed in. Charlie's face froze. Pinky, no glass, we're freezing. Charlie, keep flying. But the German fighters weren't done. 10 minutes of assault. Finally, the German fighters ran out of ammunition, turned back. Ye Olde Pub was still flying, but torn apart. Charlie checked. 2 out of 4 engines dead. Tail section ripped off. No radio, no oxygen, no glass. Crew, 1 dead out of 10, 6 wounded. How are we still flying? Charlie thought. But they were still over Germany, 250 miles to England. Same day, December 20th, 1943, 12 p.m. Germany, Oldenburg Air Base. Oberleutnant, First Lieutenant Franz Stigler, 28 years old, Luftwaffe ace pilot. He'd shot down 28 American-British aircraft. Experienced, lethal. One more kill, 29th victory. He'd earned the Knight's Cross Medal, the most prestigious German award. Franz stood beside his Messerschmitt Bf 109 fighter. His commander, Stigler, new report came in. Damaged American bomber, flying slow, alone. Take off, shoot it down. Your 29th victory. Franz nodded. Yes, sir. But Franz had a principle. Years ago, his commander, Gustav Rodel, Luftwaffe legend, had told him, if you shoot a man in a parachute, I will shoot you. There is no honor in that. Franz had never shot a parachutist since that day. War, but honorable war. But today, that principle would be tested. Franz took off. Messerschmitt Bf 109, fast, agile, deadly German fighter. Radio instructions, northwest, 10,000 feet, flying slow. Franz accelerated, 450 miles per hour. Minutes later, he saw it. B-17, flying fortress, alone, slow, damaged. Franz found it, approaching. Franz approached from behind the B-17, standard attack position. Watch for tail gun. If tail gun fires, pull back. But the tail was silent. Franz got closer. The tail section was destroyed, gun turret ripped off, no glass. Inside, tail gunner motionless, dead. Franz, no tail gun, easy target. His finger moved to the trigger. But he did something unusual. He got even closer, came alongside the B-17's left side, wingtip to wingtip, 150 feet distance, and he looked inside. Franz saw inside the B-17. The cockpit glass was gone, shattered. The pilot, Charlie Brown, struggled to hold the controls, his face frozen, blood visible. Co-pilot, Pinky, semi-conscious, head fallen back. In the back, crew members. One lying on the floor, motionless, dead or unconscious. One trying to bandage another's wound, hands bloody. One leaning against the wall, eyes closed. Inside the aircraft, blood, damage, chaos. Franz was shocked. They're boys, maybe 20 years old. They're dying. And what Franz did next, or didn't do, would haunt him for 40 years. Franz pressed the trigger. His finger was on it. 1 second to firing, the B-17 explodes, all die. 29th victory, Knight's Cross. But he didn't fire. Franz remembered Commander Rodel's words, "If you shoot a man in a parachute, I will shoot you." Franz thought, this plane is like a parachute, defenseless. Guns aren't working. They're dying anyway. If I fire, this is an execution, not war. His finger pulled away from the trigger. Franz spoke to himself. No, not today. Today I will not shoot a man in a parachute. He released the trigger. But now what? Franz flew alongside the B-17, waving to pilot Charlie Brown to get his attention. Charlie saw Franz, German Messerschmitt, wingtip to wingtip. Charlie froze. What is he doing? Franz signaled, "Follow me, fly north." But Charlie didn't understand. Franz signaled again, then turned north, flew in front of the B-17. Charlie, is he guiding us? Franz Stigler was escorting the enemy aircraft. Franz flew alongside Ye Olde Pub, wingtip to wingtip, visible distance. Why? Because below, German gunners were stationed. If they see a lone damaged B-17, they'll fire. But if a German Messerschmitt is beside it, gunners think, German pilot is taking them prisoner, don't fire. Franz was protecting the American plane from German gunners. Charlie was in shock. This German pilot is protecting us. Why? Pinky, semi-conscious, maybe he wants to capture us? Charlie, no, if that were it, he'd force us to land. But he's directing us north, the sea, England. The German pilot was sending them home. For 30 minutes, Franz escorted them. They flew over German towns. Gunners saw them but didn't fire. Franz's plan was working. Finally, they reached the North Sea coast, open sea, 60 miles to England. Franz couldn't go further. If he entered British airspace, British fighters would shoot him down. Time to say goodbye. Franz came alongside the B-17, looked at Charlie. Two pilots, eye to eye, 150 feet apart. Without glass, Charlie could see him clearly. Franz saluted, German military salute, then nodded, go, live. Charlie didn't know what to do. Then he saluted too. Franz banked his Messerschmitt right, flew back to Germany. B-17 Ye Olde Pub was alone over the sea, but safe. Charlie flew to England. 2 engines, damaged controls, exhausted crew. 2 hours later, reached England. Landed, hard landing, but they survived. Ambulances came, wounded taken to hospital. Commander saw the plane and was shocked. How could this plane fly? 400+ bullet holes, 2 engines gone, tail ripped off, no glass. It was a miracle. Charlie had to write a report, but there was a problem. How to explain the German pilot? If he says German pilot protected us, no one will believe it. Maybe they'll think he's crazy, maybe hallucinating from oxygen loss. Charlie wrote to his brother at home and told the truth, but didn't write it in the official report. What Franz Stigler did remained a secret. Franz Stigler returned to Germany. His commander asked, "Did you shoot down the American bomber?" Franz lied. "No, sir. Couldn't find it. It went into clouds." Commander was suspicious but had no proof. Franz never got his 29th victory, never got the Knight's Cross, but his conscience was clear. Franz told no one, because if he told, it would be considered treason. Maybe he'd be shot. In Nazi Germany, mercy to the enemy equals weakness equals crime. Franz stayed silent. War ended. Franz survived. Immigrated to Canada, lived in Vancouver. 40+ years, told no one, not even his wife. Charlie Brown told no one either. War ended, returned to America, back to normal life, but never forgot that day. Who was that German pilot? Why did he do it? Never found out for 40+ years. But what happened in 1990 would finally bring these two warriors together. 1986, Charlie Brown retired. Now he had time. He met with old war buddies. One day, Ye Olde Pub crew gathered, survivors. "Charlie, do you remember that day? The German pilot protected us." Waist gunner: "Yes, I saw him too. He flew beside us." Pinky: "Who was he?" Charlie: "I don't know, but I want to find him. He gave us life. I should thank him." But how to find him? He didn't even know the name. Charlie made a plan. There was a magazine for old war pilots, Combat Crew, newsletter. Charlie wrote to the editor. December 20th, 1943, returning from Bremen, damaged B-17F. A German Messerschmitt pilot protected us, escorted us to the sea, left. I want to know who he was. If that pilot or anyone who knows him reads this, please write to me. The ad was published, 1990. Charlie waited. It seemed like no answer would come. 1990, Vancouver, Canada. Franz Stigler, now 75 years old, read the Combat Crew magazine, saw Charlie Brown's ad, read it. December 20th, 1943, Bremen, damaged B-17F, German Messerschmitt escorted. Franz froze. This is me, that plane. Franz hadn't told anyone for 40-plus years, but now that American pilot was searching for him. Franz told his wife, "That day I protected an American plane. I could have shot it, but I didn't. Now that pilot is looking for me." Wife, "Then write to him." Franz wrote a letter. Charlie Brown, I am that German pilot. December 20th, 1943, I saw your B-17. I looked inside, saw wounded crew. I couldn't fire. I escorted you to the North Sea. For 40 years I told no one, but now I want to talk to you. He mailed the letter. Charlie received the letter, read it, cried. 40 years later, I found him. Charlie picked up the phone, called Franz. First phone call, 1990. Charlie? Franz Stigler? Yes. Are you Charlie Brown? Yes. You saved us. Why? Because I looked inside. I saw you. You were boys. You were dying. I am a fighter, not a killer. If I had killed you, it would have been an execution. You gave me life. I've been looking for you for 40 years. And I couldn't tell anyone for 40 years. Both cried. Two enemy pilots, 40 years later, on the phone, crying. 1990, Charlie and Franz met in Vancouver. First time, face to face. Two old men, 75 years old. They looked at each other. You're the pilot in that B-17. You're the German who saved us. They embraced. They cried. No longer enemies, brothers. 1990 to 2008, 18 years, Franz and Charlie became closest friends, met every year, wrote letters, talked on phone, went to conferences together, told their story. People asked, "You were enemies in war. How are you friends now?" Franz, "War ended, but humanity never ends." Charlie, "He taught me I didn't need to kill, just needed to survive." 2008, both pilots died same year. Franz Stigler, March 2008, age 92. Charlie Brown, November 2008, age 87. At their funerals, each had photos of the other, two pilots together even in death. A book was written, A Higher Call by Adam Makos, 2012. Became a bestseller. The world learned their story. Hollywood wants to make a film, not yet made, but coming. The world learned, even in war, there is humanity. December 20th, 1943. A German pilot saw an American bomber. He was going to shoot, easy target, but he looked inside, saw wounded boys, released the trigger. Today, I will not shoot a man in a parachute. 40 years later, that American pilot found him. Why didn't you kill me? Because I was a fighter, not a killer. Two enemies became brothers. Franz Stigler and Charlie Brown, enemies in war, brothers in life. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe. We're discovering history's most human moments. Because sometimes, releasing a trigger takes more courage than pulling it. Franz and Charlie proved it.